Hey, ghostly guys and gals, it's Ghost here, and welcome to part 10 of the Story of My Life series. So, in the last video, I talked about my relationships with Kat and my second relationship with Alina. And I kind of didn't really talk much about how, I went back to school in January, and that was like right around when me and Alina got back together. And well, I'd like to say, there isn't much to say about it. Thankfully, the second go around in college, at least the first semester, um, I did really good. I guess I didn't get all A's, but I did like do pretty well. Like I think I didn't get a C or anything. I think I got one B or whatever. But so I didn't I never I'm gonna be honest. I never figured out how to get Zoom to work on my laptop. I'm Yeah, I'm completely honest with that. Like I never knew how to get it all to work where it would be like I can use the mic and I can also hear the teacher or whatever. So I can never figure that out. But I've realized that if you use the Zoom app on like your mobile device on your phone, it's a lot more user friendly and a lot like easier to use. And I just was like, okay, I'll just use it on my phone. And yeah, I don't remember how I figured that out, but yeah. So in any case, I just download the Zoom app for my phone, and I was able to go to my classes just fine, and I was able to do all my schoolwork, and yeah, it was all pretty good. So well, let me wrap that up. Like basically, just like I said, everything academically was fine all the way up till the end of the semester in May, and that was May of 2021. When the semester ended. So yeah. And right around when the semester ended, and this was actually like the day after me and Alina broke up. So I didn't feel like I needed time to recover per se. Like this like I said, our relationship was kind of dead for a month at least anyway. So by the time we broke up, it was already like kind of like I don't have a girlfriend anymore. So then literally the next day, I got a match on Tinder, and it was this girl, and we'll call her Ophelia. And we got to talking on Tinder, and we were having a pretty nice conversation and stuff. And she was just kind of like, "Hey, do you want to meet up?" And I was like, "Sure." Like when? And I was expecting her to say something like Saturday or I don't even know what day it was when we met, but like just later in the week or whatever. And she's like, "How about in the afternoon of today?" I was like, "Oh, shoot, for real?" And she's like, "Yeah." And it was like noon, I think, when she was like saying that. So I was like, "Okay." And I rushed to get ready. Like I cleaned my car and everything, made sure I looked good, and I, got all spiffy, um, because she wanted me to actually pick her up. Um, just a piece of advice. So I'm a good, I'm harmless and I'm a good person, and obviously I meant no ill will towards her, but just a word of advice to all you girls out there, I guess guys too. You probably shouldn't go in a stranger's car that you just met on a dating app, but I mean that's what she did, and I just kind of was like, this isn't really a good thing for her, but to do. But I mean, she's okay with it, and I'm not afraid of picking up a stranger in my car per se. If she looks weird or whatever, I can just always drive away. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I'll just go with it. So I drove over to. She wanted me to like pick her up at a Walmart. So yeah, she was, I guess, kind of afraid to share her address at least at first. So I guess she was smart in that regard. So I met her at a Walmart, and I saw her, and she was very pretty. Um, yeah, so we decided to go to the park for our like first date, and we walked around the park, and we had a very nice conversation, got to know each other, and she was very nice. She was very sweet, and I thought she was funny, and she was very like I felt carefree, um, and I felt like we got along well. So at the end of the day, at the end of our date, it was the end of the day, kind of too, I guess. But I brought her back to the Walmart, and I was just kind of like, so what do you think? Like, do you think maybe you could see us being a couple? And she's like, yeah, I'd like you to be my boyfriend. And I was just like, oh, wow, well, great. I didn't expect her to say that. So she was like, maybe for some people it would be like, this is going too fast. But for me, I was happy with it. I mean, I don't know. I guess it feels kind of weird saying this. Like I said, it was like literally the day after I broke up with Alina. So maybe a lot of people are saying, like, this is happening too fast or whatever. But I was happy because I thought she was very pretty, and I liked her, and I was like, if something goes wrong or whatever with this relationship, I can always just back out or whatever. But I'm happy with this. And that was the beginning of the happiest month of my whole life. And you know, I I don't really like I can't convey to you like how and why she made me feel so happy and all this stuff, but of all my girlfriends, we definitely saw each other the most. Like even with Kat, like she lived, Kat lived in my area and all, but even with her, like she was actually going to college in out in Lafayette, which is like 2 hours away from me, and she would come back home on the weekends. But we didn't get to see each other even every week, so we didn't get to see each other that often. Um, but me and Ophelia, we saw each other every single day basically for that whole month that we were together. And we did all sorts of fun things together. Like literally the best memories of my life are, or some of the best memories of my life are with her. Going out to the mall and going out to restaurants and hanging out at the library and her house and stuff. And yeah, I um well, I guess I'll mention some things about her more once I get to the part where we break up, because there is maybe like a few explanations of why, because I never really got a good reason from her about why she broke up with me. But in any case, everything was great with her. I loved her a lot, and I felt like with her I could do anything, and you know everything just felt right with her, and I didn't want to be with anyone else, and I was, like I said, the happiest I had ever been. She also had a little kitten that I loved more than anything. Uh, his name was Oliver, and I loved him a lot too. And so she came as a package deal, so that was even better. Um, but obviously, she broke up with me, and it came very out of the blue. Like we had literally seen each other, I think the day before, or maybe the day before that, and everything, nothing was seemed to be going wrong. Everything seemed normal. Like she didn't we never had it. Like we'd had a few little arguments here and there, like like every relationship will have an argument here and there, but it was like we never had a big argument. Like me and Kat had a lot more arguments, and yeah. But we seemed to be getting along well. I thought we were like, very great together. Like she always told me that she was happy with the relationship, and you know, I thought that we were, a great couple. And so like, one day I'm like, okay, hey Ophelia, can I come over, to see you? And she was just like, yeah, sure. Just wait until I get off of work. And then I'm waiting for her to give me a text so that she can say, yeah, come on, like you can come over and let's meet up. But she, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, she texted me like randomly, like, hey, do you think we're a good couple? And I was like, well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. And she was like, well, I don't see that. I think we need to break up. And I I was just in a mindset where I was like, first of all, I didn't realize like how much, like how big a part she became, like how big of a part of my life she became, and how happy she made me. Second of all, I was like, I was just so taken aback that I kind of didn't have time to react, like maybe the way I like should have or would have liked to react. And third, I kind of like, so you know how I said that I got into this relationship at, like the day after I broke up with Alina. I kind of had like this. I don't want to say like I was cocky or like had a big head or anything, but I mean I guess I kind of did. Like I just kind of was like, I mean, if that's what Ophelia wants, I'm not gonna stop her. I mean, I don't want to keep her here if she doesn't want to be with me. And I just kind of was like, you know, I'm sorry to hear that, Ophelia, but if that's what you want, then I understand. And yeah. And I thought it was the right thing to do at the time, and I guess it's not. It probably was still the right thing to do, I guess, but it's not what I probably would have done if I had a bit more foresight into things. But anyway, so yeah, she broke up with me, and at first I was like, well, that sucks. But I was just like, but I can just find somebody else, and life will go on. I'll get over her. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know. I think some people would probably say this is a bad thing. They would say you're just rebounding or you're just heartless or something. But like, yeah, I just like the very next day, I was like, okay, time to re-download these dating apps and find somebody else. And at first I was like, I'll be fine. But then like about a week or two after she broke up with me, I really realized like, wow, everything is just so empty without her, and like all my joy was just gone. She was like everything, and I was like, what do I do now? And it was just so hard. Like I said, we were spending basically every day together, and then all of a sudden that's just gone. And I didn't realize how much of a like an impact and just like a glaring difference from my life in the previous month and then the next month. I didn't even think of it. Like I was just like, you know, it was just like a delayed reaction basically. I was just kind of like, oh, yeah, our relationship's over. Well, that sucks and stuff. And I just thought, like, I'd been in through breakups before, and I kind of thought it would be the same thing because, yeah, I was sad with Kat and I was sad with Alina, but I got over it, pretty fast. But it was just like with them, I just wasn't spending as much time with them as I was with Ophelia. And I think if I was spending as much time with them as I was spending with Ophelia, I would definitely be, just as heartbroken, maybe if not more than I was with Ophelia. And why she broke up with me, there's a few reasons. One thing is that she was actually like a Vietnamese immigrant. She actually was only in the country for like 2 years when we started dating. So every now and again we would have like a few problems communicating, but I always felt like the language barrier wasn't that bad and that she was good enough at English for us to communicate just fine, and all the time I felt like we were doing fine. And second of all, there's like a bit of an age difference. She was like 4 years older than me or 3 years older than me. I think I was 19 at the time, and she was 23. I think 23 or 22. And for some reason, I know that like for if a man is older than the woman, it's not really a problem for whatever reason. But I know that like women don't like to date guys younger than them a lot, unless it's like they're a cougar or something, or yeah, that's something they're weirdly into. Um, but yeah, so normally, yeah, girls don't like to date younger guys, so that might have been some sort of thing that she was like, like she would always make fun of me, be like, you're a little boy or whatever. And I'd just be like, haha, or whatever. But I would legitimately laugh. I just thought it was a joke, and it wasn't like what Kat would say. It wasn't like something mean spirited. She was just joking around and stuff, and or at least I thought she was. Maybe she wasn't, or and she kind of there was like some truth to that. She thought I was like just too young for her or whatever. And then also we were kind of in like different stages in life, not just in like regards to age, but also so I was in college at the time. I just wrapped up my first successful semester, and then she was she had, I think she went to some sort of like university or like some sort of college in Vietnam, and she was, here and stuff, but she was working at a nail salon. And she had her own place and stuff, and she was making her own money and all that. And like I said, I had money saved and stuff, so it wasn't like I was completely broke or anything. But, I didn't have a job. I was just going to school, and, um, I was just getting started in school too. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention this. Important note: I changed my major from uh, international studies to finance the second time around because I was just like, I just want to get a 4 year degree and leave. I don't, I'm not going to go into academics after this terrible failure of, this first time. So I'm just going to, get a finance degree and I'm going to do something with that. So yeah, just a quick note about that. But anyway, so yeah, she was in like a different stage of life, I guess you could say, than me, and she would want me to like spend the night at her house or something. Sometimes I'd be like, I can't because my mom won't let me do that. Uh, so she'd be like, she'd be kind of upset about that. And I'd be like, sorry, you know. Uh, so yeah, like those were like probably the reasons I would assume that she would want to break up with me. But yeah, so it was very tough. And like 2 weeks after we broke up, maybe 3 weeks, I kind of like broke down. I was like, we hadn't talked since the breakup, and I was just like, "Hey, Ophelia, how are you doing?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm great. How are you?" I'm just like, "I'm good," even though I was not. I was terrible. I was like, my whole world was destroyed. I was just like, so, do you want to get back together? Eventually, I got to that, and she's just like, no. And I was like, are you sure? Like, is there any way that we could ever get back together? And she's like, no, like, stop, please. And I was just like, she was getting kind of upset with me, and I was just like, okay. And, it was very tough for me, and yeah. And, like, I wish that that day when she broke up with me, I would have insisted to like, go see her and talk it out in person, and maybe she would have said like, give me more of an explanation. Like she never really has told me. She just kind of like, I don't think we're a good couple, and that was it. She never really told me anything more. And I just kind of wish that, you know we could have. I don't know. I wish I would have like not let her go so easily. Um, I don't really think it would have changed anything in the end, even if I was like, no, no, let's not break up. And even if I did go up to her, like go see her at her house and we talked about it, even in person, I feel like she still would just be like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, ghost, it's over. And anyway, this breakup would end up having some very, 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 very bad effects. Um, so yeah, like I said, I was destroyed, and I basically ceased to function. Um, I had signed up for a summer class, that for that summer, because I just decided that like I wanted to get some courses, get a course knocked out for the summer because I had already like wasted one semester, and I just wanted to just catch up as much as I could from when I had that semester and I wasn't able to get any credits. So yeah, I took that summer class, and it started like a few days after our breakup, and I barely did any of the assignments. It was like I was just so sad, and I was so broken, and I didn't do anything basically, and I ended up failing it. I went back to college for the fall semester, and I was still completely broken about it, heartbroken, and I would just be tortured by these terrible dreams about um, her. I mean, they were actually great dreams, but the thing was, I would wake up and then she wouldn't be in my life anymore. I would dream that we were back together, or that she wanted me back, and then I would wake up and then I would be in tears because it was just a dream. And even to this day, I hate having really good dreams because you wake up and it's just everything is gone. It's like a terrible trick, you know. You think it's real and you think it's great. You're so happy, and then you wake up and it's taken away from you, you know? And yeah, it was a very, very rough time for me. And basically, I was just like, I need to replace her. I need to like fill this hole in my heart. There has to be somebody to replace her. And well, I started to stop dreaming about Ophelia, and I started dreaming about an old friend, and that was Angie. Believe it or not, for some reason, all of a sudden she started popping up in my dreams, and I was always dreaming about her and us being together. And yeah, so that kind of inspired me on my next move. And I'll talk to you guys about that in the next one. So I hope you guys will all like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.